Hello and welcome. Thanks so much for being here today. My name is Lisa Rodacher. I'm the Assistant Dean of Admissions here at Washington and Lee University School of Law, and I am going to walk you through a general information session about W&L Law. This is an opportunity to learn a little bit more about our law school, things that we think are relevant and important for you to understand about our school as you begin your application process or your school research. And then we will also talk a little bit about both the application process itself as well as next steps that you can take to learn more about W&L Law. So again, I'll provide a quick overview of our law school with some key takeaways. Then we'll go into the application process and provide you with next steps. One of the first things that I would highlight for someone if they're just beginning to learn more about our law school is the small size of W&L. I think it's fundamental to what we do here and what we feel we provide to students, which is a close, personalized community and close relationships, mentorship relationships that develop between the students and the faculty, and also close relationships develop between the students themselves. They are forming the basis of their professional network here at our small institution of approximately 370 law students. And so what does small mean in practical terms for our 1Ls? That means small classes. We have a low student to faculty ratio. Our legal writing and legal research classes, which are required 1L courses, are typically about 20 or 21 students. It means that you really get a lot of opportunity to get to know those faculty, to get to know your peers in those classes, to receive feedback on your work product in those classes, and that will provide you with a solid basis as you move forward into the second and third years. Our upper division classes, seminars, and practicum courses, those are typically capped at 16. They can even run with smaller numbers than that. So it's really a collaborative environment in which you get to know your peers and the faculty very well. We are in a small college town here. Lexington, Virginia is located in the Shenandoah Valley. If you've never been to this part of the country, it's a beautiful area, about 3 hours from DC, about 2 hours from Richmond, about 1 hour from Roanoke or Harrisonburg or Charlottesville, if you're familiar with those cities. But it's a place where you would have all the downtown shops and restaurants that you would expect of a small college community, but it's also really easy to walk back and forth to other areas of campus or to your downtown apartment. And we'll talk a little bit more about Lexington as we go forward. Another important thing to know about our school is we have a very strong honor system, and that's true both here at the law school and also on the undergraduate side of campus. And it extends beyond just the academic realm, though it's certainly important in that area, but it also extends to the everyday interactions that we have with one another here in the community. And so I think that that sets, again, a collaborative tone, a pretty friendly and welcoming environment that I think our law students really enjoy being a part of. And it really helps them in their learning opportunities as well for those 3 years. We're often asked a little bit about the makeup of our current student population. And so this is information about our current 1L class here at W&L. We have, as I said, small classes, typically about 125 to 130 students, but they come from all across the country, represent a wide range of geographic backgrounds, other types of backgrounds, other life experiences. And you can see a little bit in this slide here about those details. We are often surprising to students as they begin to do their research in that there, I think, is a perception that because we're a small school in a small town in Virginia, majority of our students will come from Virginia. That's sort of the common misconception, and it really is far from the case. Only about 20 to 25% of our students in any given year call Virginia home. And this year for our incoming class, that number was 24% of students who identify Virginia as home. So they're coming from all across the country, from all different undergraduate institutions with different academic backgrounds. And I think that that really enriches the life and perspective of the classroom conversation that we have here at the law school. Opportunities at W&L Law. So while we are a small school, there are a wide variety of ways that you can get engaged in the school community and contribute to the life of the student body here. So we have over 30 student organizations. Those organizations are open to all students, and they are very active on campus and create a great deal of student life. We have a law school activities fair at the beginning of each year where students can learn about these different organizations and join the ones that speak to them. We have an active moot court program program, we have 6 legal clinics that are located here in the law school. And it is good to know that all of our law students, 100% of them, complete some form of live client experience for credit. So that could be completion of a clinic, that could be completion of an externship. And we'll talk a little bit about externships in just a moment. But it means that you are getting hands-on experience in addition to what you're doing in the summers in terms of summer internships while you are a law student here. We also have a number of journals, ways to research with faculty. There are opportunities to study abroad. So if you are someone who is also interested in an enriching experience outside of the classroom, outside of those hours of class, that's something that W&L is very well positioned to support a student with and provide a student with. I mentioned a few words, internships and externships, and let's talk a little bit more about how you can gain hands-on learning while you are in law school. We mentioned the clinical experiences. Let's talk a little bit more about internships and externships because these are words that you often hear as you go through the law school admissions process, and it's important to understand what they mean and when they might be opportunities for you to look at. The first would be the summer after your 1L year, 1L summer internships. These are often unpaid internships. That's not specific to W&L. That's sort of an industry standard because these are opportunities for students to just begin exploring their legal career. There's sometimes opportunities to do 2 internships in a given summer after the 1L year because they might be shorter duration. And they're again focused on broad-based exposure, giving you a taste of what the law field can look like in various areas. The second summer students might be a little bit more targeted, a little bit more focused. They might be trying to work for an employer that they are hoping will be a post-graduation job offer as well. If they're looking at firm work, that's typically the summer that they might be working for a law firm, and oftentimes those larger law firm positions are paid opportunities for students. Another opportunity you might have heard about is clerking. So we have students who might work for a judge either in the summer, during the year as what's called a judicial externship, or in a judicial externship that might be working 1 or 2 days on site with that judge, working in their chambers, understanding how they've arrived at opinions, helping them sort of with some behind the scenes work. Those are also available as post-graduation opportunities. We have students who clerk for judges for 1 or 2 years after graduation, and that's another wonderful experience. I mentioned that a student could go and extern for 1 or 2 days for a judge. There are also opportunities to extern during the school year for other kinds of employers. We've had students who complete externships, for example, at the university's general counsel office, or perhaps with another private organization, or who work with in our criminal externship opportunities with assistant Commonwealth attorneys here in Virginia. So there are other opportunities, again, for hands-on engagement for credit during the school year. And we do have an option in the fall, the 3L year, for a limited number of students to complete a what's called full-time externship, working in law full-time program during that semester. Another way that our students gain hands-on learning is through immersion. This is a required component for our students at the end of their 2L spring semester. They'll take 1 2-credit course, either focusing on litigation or focusing on transactional work. And they will take that class. It will be sort of a quick dive into that particular topic, and it will really solidify those important skills for them before they go into that important second summer internship and provide them with that learning opportunity before they go into that summer employment. And finally, to round off the list, we have practicum courses. And when I say practicum courses, I encourage students to think simulation courses. These are opportunities to learn how lawyers actually behave and react and respond to various areas of the law, but you're doing it in a simulated setting. So you take on the role of that kind of attorney for the duration of that course, and you do the kind of work that that attorney might do for the duration of that course. So we've talked a lot about the opportunities in the classroom, beyond the classroom, in terms of co-curricular and experiential learning. Of course, all this for many students is geared towards them getting the kinds of jobs that they are excited about after graduation from law school. It's a significant investment of your time and your energy and your resources, and you want to make sure that the jobs that you're excited about are a realistic possibility on the other side of those 3 years. And a part of that is passing the bar in the jurisdiction that you hope to work in. And one of the neat things about W&L is not only our strong bar success nationally and in specific areas, but also the number of bars that our students take. We average 22 bars that a given graduating class will take. And that's a really large number, especially when you consider our relatively small classes here. So it means our students are succeeding in going all over the country and getting the jobs in the markets that they are excited about. We work hard with our students throughout their 3 years and after graduation to support them in studying and preparing for the bar so that they will be successful again in taking the bar of their choosing. In terms of positions for students, employment opportunities, there are two milestone time periods where law schools report data about the jobs that students have secured. One would be the at graduation employment number. So, how many students in that given law school graduating class were employed when they walked across that graduation stage? The other point where schools will report data is after 10 months from graduation. And that is a standard across law schools because for some types of employment, particularly government employment or public interest sector employment, oftentimes employers need to see that the student has passed the bar in order to make them that full-time offer. And so to allow for all kinds of jobs to be accounted for, students to be able to take the jobs that they are excited about in all sorts of industries, schools measure at grad and they also measure at 10 months. And as you can see, W&L has extremely strong numbers in both of those categories. 90% of our most recent graduating class, the class of 2025, was employed at graduation. And as an overview between 2022 and 2024, on average, 96% of those students were employed within 10 months of graduation. You can see that not only are they employed, but they're employed in all different areas of the economy. So we don't produce just one type of attorney here at W&L Law. We have students who are interested in firm work, students who are interested in doing clerkships after graduation, students who work in government and public interest and business. All of that is something that we welcome and we support here with our law school network and resources. Popular markets for W&L graduates, typically DC is our number one major market. Following that is New York City. Other popular cities might include Charlotte, Atlanta, and Dallas. But because of our small classes, there can be shifts. And one year, a lot of students are interested in going to Nashville, or one year, a lot of students are interested in going to Florida. And so those might change our numbers a little bit. But on average, these give good sense of where students are going in a given year and what kinds of opportunities they're taking advantage of. I mentioned Lexington, our college town environment. It's a great opportunity to come and visit and explore for yourself. See what Lexington is all about. Come to campus if you can and get a sense of what this area is and how it would fit in with your time as a law student. For many of our law students, they come from more urban areas and they plan to work in more urban areas after graduation, but they find that for their 3 years of being a law student, of studying law, engaging in this rather challenging process, this is a really easygoing and in times low-key place to live. You can live down the street from fellow students. You can go and grab a bite to eat with them easily after class. Prices aren't going to be sky-high city prices. So for a lot of students, they find this is a really pleasant environment to be a law student. They think about it with a lot of nostalgia and they look for opportunities to come back as alumni. And it can really provide a nice complement to your lifestyle as a law student. So let's move on to the application process. There are two ways to apply to W&L Law through either regular or binding early decision, and both of those applications are open. So we encourage you to go ahead, take a look at those applications, which are available through LSAC. There is no school application fee, whether you choose to apply to W&L through regular decision or through binding early decision. Regular decision applications are reviewed on a rolling basis, so applying as early as you reasonably can is our best piece of advice. We typically put the first applications into review in mid-October, with decisions typically for that first batch issued in mid-November or before Thanksgiving, and then we continue to review and issue decisions on a rolling basis after that. Binding early decision is different. That is not reviewed on a rolling basis. Those files all must be with us and complete no later than December 1, but they will be reviewed in bulk between the 1st of December and mid-December when all students will receive notification. All applications will include an electronic application, a valid test score. We take both LSAT and GRE scores here at W&L. If you have valid LSAT scores, those will be a part of your file. If you take the GRE as well, you may elect to submit your GRE scores as well. We require all of your college or university transcripts to be sent to LSAC, and then they in turn will process those transcripts and send them along to us or to any other law schools that you may be applying to. We require a personal statement and a minimum of one letter of recommendation. We request at least one. We allow you to submit up to four. Most students, I would say, apply with 2 or 3 letters, but it really depends on circumstances. Then we have a number of optional materials, and we do strongly encourage you to submit a resume. It is recommended, but not required. And then everything else really is optional. Those are additional areas for you to share with the admissions committee to tell us more about your experiences and why you think you would be a great fit for our law school. These are 2 aspects of the early decision application that I wanted to take a minute to discuss. In both cases, if you apply through early decision, you are indicating that W&L Law is your clear #1 first choice for law school and that you will enroll if admitted. I'll actually take these out of turn. The W&L Law first choice is the one that I'll talk about first. It's a great way to indicate, again, to our committee that you are clearly set on W&L. There is no minimum scholarship guarantee for those who are admitted through W&L Law first choice. And so if you are a student who knows that your ability to enroll at W&L is contingent upon receiving X dollar amount of scholarship aid, this is not the right program for you. Students who are admitted through first choice are still considered for merit scholarships to the degree that their file is eligible for that, but depending on their academic credentials and the like. But there is no minimum amount, and for that reason, it's a really good program, but not for those who know that they need a certain scholarship level. At the other end of the financial spectrum is the Dean Scholar program, and that we envision for students who are probably the most academically well-credentialed, who have exemplary records, and that typically equates to students who are in the top 25% of the most recent entering JD class. It's a significant commitment in either case to apply through binding early decision. And for those who are admitted through Dean Scholar, we make a significant financial commitment to them as well in the form of a full tuition scholarship for the 6 semesters of study here at W&L Law. So if you are applying early decision, you will pick one of these 2 tracks to indicate your interest in being considered for as a part of that application. Important dates to consider. As I mentioned, applications are now open. The first files will go into review for regular decision, probably at some point in October, with the goal to have those decisions out before the Thanksgiving holiday, perhaps in mid-November. And then we will continue to review and issue decisions for regular decision on a rolling basis. For the binding early decision, those files all must be here and complete with us by December 1st, and we will issue a decision no later than December 15th for those files. We are sometimes asked by students who are applying through the regular decision process, well, when should we apply? We hear that early is best, but from a financial standpoint, what does that mean? And when must I be applying in order to receive top consideration for merit aid? I would typically tell a student that early is on the front side of Thanksgiving. Anything Thanksgiving or earlier is truly early. But if you are kind of looking from a financial standpoint, February 1st is our best piece of advice. Priority regular decision deadline for scholarship consideration, we say, is February 1st because looking back historically, after that point, we've had to become perhaps more conservative with financial aid awards for students. March 1st is the date to keep in mind if you are a student who needs to hear back by March 31st. If you have a complete regular decision file with W&L Law by March 1, we guarantee turnaround of an admissions decision no later than March 31. And we do that because we want to make sure that those students who have met March 1st deadline have heard back from W&L to some point on their file in terms of its status prior to having to make seat deposits here or at any other law school through regular decision. I've mentioned finances a few times. We know that finances are a really important part of the process for many students. And so we wanted to share a little bit about our merit scholarship process here at W&L Law. All admitted students, regardless of which program they have applied through, are considered for merit-based aid. There's no additional scholarship application that you need to fill out, no box that you need to check. We assume any student who is admitted would like to receive any merit scholarship that they could be eligible for. If you apply through regular decision, typically that notification comes about 2 weeks after you are admitted. So you would first hear about admission, and approximately 2 weeks later would hear about any potential merit scholarship aid that you were awarded through the regular decision process. If you're applying binding early decision, you hear essentially at the same time both about an admissions decision and then if you are admitted, what that scholarship determination would be. Only over 90% of our students are receiving some degree of merit-based scholarship. Our goal is to make W&L a viable option for those students that we are admitting and to do our very best on the financial side to make that a possibility. You see our average award per year. Our awards really do vary quite a bit in our regular decision options, from in some cases a $5,000 scholarship to in some cases close to full tuition and everything in between, again, dependent on when the student is admitted and also the academic profile of that particular student. If you are a military ribbon benefit eligible individual listening to this webinar, please know that we're proud to participate in the Yellow Ribbon Benefit Program. That is a wonderful opportunity for those who are eligible to receive strong scholarship support from W&L if they are or their family members are part of that benefit program. Then we do also have a loan repayment assistance program, or LRAP program, to assist those graduates who, after leaving W&L, take jobs in the government or public interest sector and therefore have salaries that may not be the same as those of their peers who are in firm positions. And so LRAP is a program that those graduates who are qualifying can apply for to receive some additional financial assistance after graduation. I would also highlight the organization Access Lex to any law students who are on this webinar. It's a wonderful resource for students who have more questions overall about financing a legal education, not just at W&L, but are looking for additional resources about budgeting, paying for law school, educational loans, and the like. That's a lot of information, and hopefully we've answered a number of your questions, but you may very well want to do more research and you may have more questions, and that is what we are here to address. There are a lot of ways to learn more about W&L Law. One is to participate in a visit. We have on-campus options for visit where you can take a tour, sit in on a current law school class, meet with a member of the admissions team one-on-one. We also have a virtual tour option that has robust options there for engaging in through video recordings with our school community, for taking a virtual tour, for scheduling a Zoom or a phone call for a one-on-one conversation. So please plan a visit that makes sense for you, and we look forward to engaging with you through that. We do, as I mentioned, have recordings as well of panels and classes. Please take a look at those on our website. We also have upcoming group Zoom sessions. We have webinars approximately every other week that we offer live, and you're welcome to sign up for those. We would love to see you at one of those various programs. We have active social media channels, so please follow us and take a look at what law school life is like here in Lexington and at W&L Law. And of course, we hope that you will submit your application to the law school through LSAC. We welcome you to contact us with any questions at the email address or the phone number listed. Finally, if you would like a view book mailed to you, please take advantage of this QR code and fill out the form, and we will be glad to send you one. That's it for now. Please reach out to us at email, phone, or in any way that we can help you. Please let us know. Thank you so much for your attention, and have a great day.